Okay, now we are going to make our shopping cart responsive. You can see that in the iPad it's already responsive. We don't have any work to do in the iPad. So the next one we are going to check is let's see the iPhone 12. Let's see how it look like. You can see that on the iPhone 12 this is the way it look like. So to make a changes to it, we go straight to our HTML, our CSS. So inside our CSS, what are we doing? We just copy this media at the top here. We copy, and we put it down here, and we change the minimum to mass wide, and we will give the bracket to it, and curly bracket rather. So first thing we are going to do, inside a curly bracket we will be having a cart, image, and the image will be just giving a width of 40 ps, and right after the image you'll be having the cart, and the cart item title. So for the cart I will just give a font size of 10 ps. So that is it. The next one will be the cart input dot cart quantity input. We give a font size of 13 ps and a font width. We change also the width of, we give 20 ps to it. So right after that we have our button danger tool that we have to button danger. For the remove, you reduce it to, we give 10 font size 10 ps, and the price, I think the price will be the same. Let's see how it look like. Now perfect, you can see that it has adjusted perfectly. And right, for the title, we are not seeing the title very well. The foot title, the Banco and Tilapia are not be seen well done. Let me see if I can add 2 ps to it, and let's see how. Okay, so guys, that is it. You can see that, but okay, let's maintain the 11 because I want them to be aligned. Okay, so that is it, guys. You can see now that all our item now is well looking. So that is it. So now straightforward we move to the JavaScript. So we are going now straight to our JavaScript, because when we click on our closing icon here, we want the cart to disappear. So to do that, we go straight to our JavaScript. Okay, so straightforward, let's go back to our code and let's go to our JavaScript side. And inside our JavaScript side, first thing we are going to declare, we are going to put variable shop equal a document dot get element by id, and we are going to grab our shopping bag rather. So that is it. So right after we put variable, we declare the variable cat box, document dot query selector and dot cat box. So now we grab our icon, our closing icon. We'll be having close document dot query selector, and we grab our close. So that is it. So what are we going to do now? We are going to say shopping cart dot, we are going to affect the event listener to our shop which is holding our shopping bag. So we are going to say basically anytime we click on our shopping bag, this function will be applied to it. So we'll be having cat box dot style dot visibility should equal to visible. So we are just basically saying that anytime we click on the shopping bag, the style, the cardboard style visible should be visibility should be visible. So we go back to our CSS. You should remember that from starting we are having a visible that we haven't give any style to. This is it here. So we put visibility hiding. So now let's see how it's working. If it's not working, so definitely there will be a problem. So let's check where the problem is. They say cannot read property of null, reading style. So we are having a problem with our HTML, cannot read property of null. So let's check very well what we have declared so far. Style, visibility, visible. So let me check again. 16 cardboard. Okay, we can see that our cardboard, we have done a mistake. This is supposed to be a small, it should not be, this is not supposed to be in big character or uppercase. It's supposed to be a lowercase. So I have changed it right now. So let's see now if you are counting the same problem. So when I click on, okay, now it's working. So you can see now that it's working perfectly. When we click on closing, why the closing tool is not, let's check. We are having the same problem with the closing tool. So let's see what is going on when we click on the closing button. Why it's not giving us any error. So why it's not responding? Let's watch. Okay, we haven't set the closing yet. Sorry, we haven't set the closing yet. It's just for the shopping bag we have done. So now we are going to do the closing one. So the closing dot address listener, we will be giving a click. The same thing we have done. When we click on it, what will happen? So when we click on it, this function should work. This function should start should be affected to it. So we'll be taking the same cat boss dot style dot visibility equal to hiding. So that is it. So now we can go and check and see if it's okay, if it's working. So that's when we click on it. When okay, perfectly, it's working. You can see when we click on our shopping bag, our pop-up appear, and when we click on our closing icon too, it disappears so nicely. So now what are we going to do? Basically, now we are going to apply some function to our website. So now when we click on our order button, you see nothing will be happening. When I click on it, nothing will be happening. So what we want is when we click on our order button, the number 0 at the top of the shopping bar should change to 1, or should change to the number of items which have been selected. If it's 3, it should be 3. And as well, when we click on our shopping bag, the element we have selected should be displayed inside our shopping bag. So it's this function we are going to apply. But from starting now, the first thing we are going to do, to work on our remove button. So when we click on the remove button, it will clean all the elements. Okay, the remove button will clean the item which has been selected. So his remove button will clean that item. So what we are going to do now, we go to, first of all, we go to our index JavaScript file, sorry, and and we will go, first of thing, we use the if statement. The if statement will be putting a document ready state. The document ready state, we make sure that all the page is loaded before the function will be applied to it. It's load before the function will be applied to it. So it's why we are using the document ready state. So after the document has been is loading the document, we apply the document, add event listener, and we put a DOM content. Let's see, yes, no, we put a DOM content loaded, that is it, ready. So after you have an event when the document is loading, we have an event listener. When the document is loaded, now our function will be applied. The function will be ready. So what is inside the ready function? We are going to do it right now. You can see now that we have not declared any ready function, and else if it's not the case, ready function should still be applied to it. So the next thing we are going to do right now, what are we going to do now? Now we are going to declare our function already, and inside this function, what will we be having? We will be asking that all the remove button inside our HTML document, we use a loop function to search for all the remove button inside our HTML document. So we do a variable remove cat item equal to document dot get element by class name, and we do what? We do put a btn danger, because we are grabbing our btn danger. If you remember, the class, all the button has a class, a btn danger, so we are going to search for them. So now if you want to see if our declaration is working very well, we just have to put a console log remove cat item. So let's see, we go to our inspect and check. you can see that you have a collection here. We have 0 BTN danger. Why is 0? Do you see in the JavaScript we did the machine doesn't start counting from 1, but we start counting from 0. So if you remember, let me put it on there. If you remember very well, we are having an item already inside our shopping cart with one remove button. So it's the one he's notifying us that we have one inside already. So let's continue. So what are we going to do now? We are going to use a for loop. So we are basically telling the inside our function ready that it should go inside our shopping cart and check all the button, remove button inside. So when you check all the remove button inside, we now are going to apply a function to those remove button. So is what we are going to use now. We are going to use for loop to look for all the button, the remove button inside our shopping cart. So I equal to 0 and I superior than remove sorry, I have done a mistake here. Here it's not supposed to be remove cart item button. I've forgotten the button. Just to avoid confusion. So here too we'll be putting the buttons. And here we put our remove buttons dot and e plus plus. So when it's like that, as I explained to you, what are we using the for loop for? The for loop, so we look inside our shopping cart to get all the remove button, the remove button inside. So now we are going to declare a variable button to which we affect the remove button e. So now this variable btn is holding our remove button. The variable button is holding now our remove cart item button, which can be identified by our function, so by the loop. So now what are we going to do now? We are going now to do let's check first if what you are doing is well, because I like to be checking to avoid mistakes. So I'll just do button look button. So when we look the button, let's see what is happening. So you can see that is it here. Okay, so you can see that is here our button, console log button, that is it, is here. So nice, so it's working. The next thing we are going to do after affecting a remove button item e to the button, we are going now to apply a listener to all this button. So that button now, which is holding the number of the button inside our shopping cart, we are going to affect the function of add event listener. So the event listener, it will be a click. So anytime we click of any of the button inside our shopping cart, the remove cart item should be applied to it. So that is what you are going to do. So let me break it again. First of all, we have declared a remove cart. We have declared our function. We are having our function ready. So inside our function ready, what that function is going to do, first thing the function we're going to do is to remove. When we will be having 8 items inside our shopping cart, and when we click on the remove button, it will remove the item on which which the button will remove the, how can I say, the item from the shopping cart. If you click the we have 3 items and we want to remove the first one. When we click the remove button of that item, it will remove only that item. So to do that, we have affected the remove cart item button to the BTN danger who is holding our button. So from there we are using a loop. The loop will do what? The loop will look through our cart to identify all the remove button. So now after that, we have been affecting a variable button to all those buttons, and to that button now we are giving a function to it. So when we click on the button, remove button, it will remove the item from the shopping cart. So I hope that I make myself clear. So what we are going to do now is straightforward. We are going to declare our function remove. We are going to declare a function remove cart item. So let's go. So out of the ready function, we put another function. That function will be doing, we put function, a function. That function will be remove. It will be remove cart item. So we'll be applying event as a parameter to it, because we want that function to be applied to the exactly button or the item button we are click on. If you have 3 elements, we don't want when we click on the remove button of the first element or the first item, it should remove all the other items. It should remove only that item. So you'll be using the event the event to do it. So the event will target the button on which you have clicked and which element and his element. So to do that, we just put variable. We declare variable button click, which equal event dot target. Event target will target the element, the exactly remove button we have target, like we are looking for when we click. So after that, we just put a button click dot parent. Parent we mean his element. So parent element dot parent element also, and we apply the function remove function to it. So let's see now how if is working as we want. So let's see if when we click on, okay guys, we can see now that when we click on our remove button, let me refresh it again. So when you see that when we click on our remove button, the item inside our shopping cart will disappear. So even we have 10 items inside our shopping cart, we click on the first one remove, is only the first one element items which we remove. The remaining one will still there till we click on another one which will remove the one we have clicked on. So that is basically what you are going to do here. So right after that, we are going now to work on our quantity input. The quantity input, what is happening on the quantity input? The quantity input, we can see that when we decrease the quantity is 0, we cannot have a negative number inside our shopping cart. So we want to make a function so that when we increase it to 4 or 5 is okay, but when we are decreasing the number or reducing the number, it shouldn't pass 1. It shouldn't be below 1. 1 is the last number. So is what we are going to do basically inside our input cart a quantity input. So that is it. So let's go. We go straight to our, we put another function, and before that function we come to our function ready function. So inside our ready function we do the same thing like what we have done before. In the top we put a variable quantity input equal to document dot get element by class name, and we grab our cat quantity input. So that is it. So right after that, what we do, I will always check if the variable which has been declared has been well declared. So I will just do a log, and I will put my quantity input inside and go to the HTML and see if it has been well declared. So let's see. We have our HTML collection there. It means like it's good. So you can see here that I have our input quantity. Let's click on the, so you can see that we have our input quantity here. So that is good, and the length which is 1. So it means like it has been well declared. So let's go back now and continue. So just after that, we use as usual our loop to check the number of quantity box inside our shopping cart. So we put a variable I equal to 0. Sorry, I can just, okay, let me just, as I'm lazy rather, I will just copy straight from this place, copy, and I'll put it down here. Then I will just make some few changes. I will just change here. I will put quantity input, that's all, and I will put a curly break. So inside a curly bracket, we will be having what? We will be having a variable input equal to quantity input I. So from there now the same thing, you will be checking again if I used to do so to avoid any mistakes, because when you are typing a long many line of code and you are not checking, maybe you will do a mistake that maybe is when you will be at the 100 or 200 line, you will notice that you have a problem at the first line or the second line. It is very annoying. So I just use my time, or I just take my time to check to see if what I'm putting in, if it's correct. So you can see that we are having it here also. So that is good. It means like we are good to go. So right after the console log, the input we do what? We apply to that input a function, input add event listener, and this one, it won't be any more click, it will be change. So change, because you are going to change the number inside the box, and we apply a function quantity change to it. Quantity change. So that is it. So we go down, and here we come and create our function quantity change, and to that quantity change we also put an event. I explain what the event is standing for, and we put a variable input. We put a variable input equal to event dot target. So just after that we do a console log to see, as usual. I used to check dot log input. So let's see if it has been reset. No, it's not. Let's see. Console, I'm not seeing it here. Let me check if we're going to quantity change. So okay, let's continue. I think that, so for that we just use the if function is none function. Inside is non function, we'll be having an input dot value, and we'll be putting if input, and if input superior or equal to 0, to 0. Input should be equal to 1. So I will just explain to you. The is not function is a negative function. We are saying that if negative function is applied to the input value, or the input value is superior or equal to 0, the input value should be equal to 1. So it's what we are saying basically by using the if not function. The if not function is negative. The negative function applied to the value inside our input bus, or if the input is, sorry, I'm making a mistake, if the input dot value is inferior or equal to 0, the input value should be equal to 1. So let's see if it's working. So you can see that at any time I'm forcing to go below 1 is not taking, it will automatically bring you back to 1. So is what we have asked by writing that code to the machine, that by telling him that anytime the input value is negative or the input value is inferior or equal to 0, it should just make the input value equal to 1. So is what we have used the if function. So let's move forward now. So right after that, what is the next target? The next target we are going to target now is the add button, add cart. We are going now to do what? When we click on our order button, we find the item which has been selected inside our shopping cart. So to do that, I will show you right now how are we going to do that, and very simple. So we just use a variable add to cart, variable add to cart button, which we will just take document dot get element by a class name, and we go and grab our order pro. You remember that order pro is the class which has been affected to the order button. So the order pro will be taken, and inside our order pro will be having, we'll be using a for loop as we're using the for loop, and we use the same thing, I equal to 0 if I is inferior than add to cart button dot length. What will happen? Plus will be affecting. So we are going to look for how many other how can I say, we are grabbing now our other button on our HTML document. So if there are 20, the loop will go through it and we look for all the 20s. So the 20. So we are now going to affect a variable button again to it. So it will be like this, and so right after that, let's check how console.log button. So let's see. So you can see that all our order has been displaying here. So you can see that all our order has been displayed here. So when you can see all of them has been displayed, as I told you, the loop will go through all the HTML document and get all the other button inside the HTML document. So I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the 6 tools are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is it. So the next thing we are going to do right away, we are going now to that button, that 20 that's a 26 other button, a function will be saying add event listener. So when we click on it, what will be happening? The function, the add cat to button function should be applied to them. No, 1 minute, not add cat to button, we have even mistake. Click rather. So that is it. So now what are we going to do? We are going now to set to create our function, our click, add cat click function. So that is it. So before to do that, okay, let's finish that part first, so that we know how to go about the remaining one. So what we are going to do now is we are going now to set our function add to cat click. Same thing, we use our event as parameter, and we just set a variable button will be equal to event dot target. So that's it. And now you'll be using another variable post, which will be equal to parent button, which will be selected, or click on parent again, and another parent. I think there's 2 levels. So that is it. Button parent, and right after that we'll be having the variable title, the variable price, and the variable image, because those elements has to be find themselves inside how to be inside our shopping cart, because we have clicked on the item inside our HTML document. So we want it to show up, the item which has the click inside our HTML document to show up inside our cart. So if you want it to show inside our cart, we have to set every element we want to show. We want them to show inside our shopping cart. So we want the title, we want the price, and the image to show up there. So what are we going to do? Basically, we are going to simply do variable title equal to post dot get element by class, and a product title and we are grabbing the first one because, and for that one we use it an array of 0 dot inner this. Next one too, we do the same thing. We just copy the first one like this and do apply some few modification to it. Copy, paste, and here we'll be putting price. Yes, we are putting price, and here too we'll be putting our price. So the next one will be image. Control V. We put the variable image source. Image source, and here too it will be image cart. Image cart. So that is it. And here is not, as is an image, is not inner text, it will be inner source. So that is it. So after doing that, what are we going to do now? Let's check. So now we'll be putting our add item to cart. Let me check. Add item to cart. So what we'll be applying here to will be right inside our function. Here we will be having also another function which will be add item to cart. So which we add the various item which has been declared to the cart. So we'll be putting item to the cart. So the first function add to cart click, we take the element from the HTML, the element which has been selected inside our HTML document, it will take them, and now the function add item to cart will send them directly to the cart. So is what we are going to do now. So we are going to apply a function which will be applied to the title, price, and image source. So that is it. So now what are we going to do? Straightforward, we are going to declare now the function, the add item to cart function, which will be having as a parameter title, price, and image source. So what are we going to now? We are going to work straight on our cart row. So here we'll be putting a variable, because as it will be displaying inside our cart, shopping cart, it has to be displayed in a nice way and look well. So the first thing we are going to grab our variable cart row from the document, because it's going to be displayed inside our cart row section. So we are going to take our document dot create element div, and what are we going to do? We are going to do add cat row dot class list dot add cat row. Okay, so the style of the cat row will be applied to the cat row 2, the new variable which can be declared. So what are we going to do now? We are going simply to say variable cat items equal to document dot get element by class name by using cat items 02, and we'll be using the same thing too with the cat item name. We declare a variable cat item name, variable cat item name equal to cat items dot get element by a class name cat item. Many people will ask that why are we using for the cat item name, why are you using cat item, or normally you're supposed to use document get element by, because we are going straight, we are telling the machine to go straight to the cat item to go and grab the cat item title. So it's why we have used it like that. So from there we use the for loop too. So that is it for the moment, I think. Okay, so now after doing that, what are we going to do? We are going now to, let me check if console dot log cat item so let me see. Okay, it's not working yet. So okay, no problem. Let's continue. If there's any mistake, we try to locate it and sort it out. So right after that, we are going to put a variable cat row content equal to this. So now we are going just to go and cut our cat row section here. Where is it? Oh, our cat item section. So let's see where it has, okay, which is holding. Okay, so we just cut it. We just cut it and we paste it here. So that is it. So let's see. You cannot, it's normal that our cat item will disappear. So let's click on any element and see if, wow, they're having a problem already. They say cannot read the undefined rating inner text at bottom click 70. So what is happening? 70. We cannot read variable title. Let's check what is going on. They say we are having a problem at the line 70. So let's check. see we are having a variable title post.getElement by class name and product title is not. I think I've done a mistake inside Java's index for the product title. I think okay, no problem, it has been done already. I think the product title, we have done a mistake there. So let's see now if it will be responding still. Line 72 with the source. Line 72 with the source. So what is going on with the source? Image. I will image post.getElement by class name. Image cat dot source. We were accounting a problem while we were putting our code. So the code were telling us that the image source is not cannot be property of null. The mistake was here. We haven't when the sorry, let me go back to the index.js. This image card doesn't exist. The image card doesn't exist, so we are going to put it. So to every element inside our other section, we are going to put it there. So this image will be holding class sorry, and we're putting image card. So is what we are going to apply to all our all our elements inside our other section. So we just do copy and we go okay here to it, we will apply to it. Okay, here to it we have okay, so so that's all. So now let's go back to our index.js. Yes, before to check again, let's try to write this code. We just put a card row dot. This one is outside and it's supposed to be inside the bracket. Okay, we'll be having a cat row dot inner HTML equal to the cat row content. So let's go back to now and let's try and click on. We are still having a problem. I cannot read property undefined. Had to get 80. Wow. Cannot read property on the 80. We are having cat item. Okay. Here we haven't put the T. So let's see now if there's another. Okay, so now I think it's working. So let's check. but it's not appearing. Let's see. We are having it here, but inside our cart. Okay, let's see what is happening. We have our cart row in HTML, and let's give to the cart. Content. Let's give to the cart. What is the cart items dot append child the cart row. So let's see now if it's still not working. Okay guys, you can see now that is working. The element which has been clicked is now appearing inside our shopping cart. So let's try and select 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how. Okay, you can see that we are having a little problem. Is a line on the line is supposed to be on the column, so we're still having a challenge, and we sort it out right now. Let's go to our style. I think our style, we have to remove our item. Oh, let's go to the top. Let's go to the top. Sorry guys, I'm getting missing a little bit, but let me check. Okay, so here we have to remove the cart item display flex. So we just remove it. Is what is causing the problem, I think. So guys, you can see now it's perfectly aligned and it's down. So you people can see that now everything has aligned perfectly. So that is nice. So what are we going to do now? Now we are going to work on our BTN danger to ask the event listener to it, because we can see that when we click on them, they are not working. So when we click on our remove button, it's not removing the item. So what are we going to do? Also, when we trying to when we are trying to increase the quantity, decrease it, we see that it will do the same thing we are avoiding. We are having a function for it already, so we just apply that function to the cart row. So that's it. So let's quickly go back to our index.js, and inside our index.js, what we do is simple. We will just do cart row dot get element by class name. No, not class. Get element. So dot get element by class name, and which element is the BTN danger, and we always put our add the event listener. So the event listener will be click, and we'll be giving the function remove cart item. So now let's see how is working. So let's click again. 1, 2, 3. So that is it. So let's go and let's press. So you can see, guys, that it's working now perfectly. It's removing it as well. That is it. That is very nice. So the next thing we are going to do now is the quantity change. We have to work on our quantity change. So we are going to, we have a function for it already. So what we are going to do basically is we are going to apply that function to the cat row. So we just take our cat row again, cat row, and we put dot get element by class name, and now we are targeting our quantity cat quantity rather, input, and we give an 0 array, which is the first one, and we will be putting add event listener, and for that one it will be changed, and we change, we give the function of the quantity change to it. So let's see now how, oh shit, it's a little bit worrying. So let's see if the quantity now is working. So you can see now how we are trying to reduce the quantity. It won't go below 1. So it's the same thing here too. So it's working as we want. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going now to set the function update cat. While the function update cat, now we are going to work on our total. We are going to work on our total now because of this is worrying me. I will try to set another video on local storage, because if I was using a local storage, it won't be disturbing me too much. So not in this video. Well, I'm having a problem. Sorry guys, we are having a problem because I can see that it's the same image which appear all the time. What is going on? What is going on? Let me see. One minute guys, I think I'm making a mistake. It's the same image. Which are coming all the time, which is not supposed to be. Let me check. Why is I will still having the same image. Cut row, cut. Look like the cut. This function is not working. Why? Look at. Just clicking this one, even though I have to replace it. The cat. Now content. The band. Let me see what is going on. Title. I hope I'm saying that. What is happening? To start getting notice in the image. substitute. So what is the match key here? So let me know the match key here. Okay, part6. Variable button event.target. Variable title. Post but lattice. Crash.lattice. If the problem is here. Use share function item title price have no use oh shit, it's me. Okay guys, so I understand why now we are having such a problem that when we click, sorry, let's go back again. When we click on any element here, the same element appear. Sorry, we are human being to do mistake. The mistake is just funny. It's not even to but it happened. It's not supposed to be. I can do such mistake, but I have done it. So it just proved that when we come to coding, you have to be very, very humble. In our cart row, we're supposed to change the source of the image by the title, which can be declared inside our function at the top there. So we have to. So what we do is we put our image source here, and we also put here print out our title, so they are taking the title, and we print also out the price. And that's it. So now let's see if we'll be having the same problem again. So let's see now. I'm not sure that. Okay, you guys can see now that now perfectly we are having the each element which has been selected have the title, the image, the price, and the quantity. That's nice. So now we can move forward. So the mistake was that when I was taking the div class cart item and class colon, let's say the image, the title, are supposed to add the printout of the image which has been selected there. So you see that in the function add item to cart, we'll be having the title, price, image as a parameter. So we have support, we have been declaring them, so you have to put them inside our cart row content. So that is it. And the next thing we are going to do now, as I told you, we are going straight to our function. Sorry, we'll be having our update function. So I explained to you that the update function will be doing. The update function is there to calculate the total amount at the end. Also, it will help us also at any time that we remove our any item from the cart, it will update the total amount. So what are we going to do? For the first, we are going to put a total equal to 0, and we'll be given a variable item container equal to document dot get element by class name and cat price. So the next thing we are going to set again, we are going to set a variable. Sorry, this one out together. We are going to set a cart row, and then cart row, and the cart row will be taking a cart. The cart row will be equal. What am I doing? Okay, the cart row, it will be equal to the cart item the cart item container is this one supposed to be cart item container dot get element by class name, which will be the cart row. So now what are we going to do? Now we are going to put a for loop to search inside our cart, our shopping cart, the number of cart the cart row, number of cart row we are having. So that is it. So we between rows dot let's put it's supposed to be S here. So dot length and plus, so we affect the variable cart row, and to the cart row we will be given the I, and we will be given a variable. Now we'll be taking variable price element we will be affecting to it we'll be taking get element by class name, the cart price, and we will be also declaring the variable quantity element, which will be equal to the cart row dot get element by class name, which will be the cat quantity and the input. So to the first one. The next one, it will be the price. And we will be for the price, we will be having, I have to explain this one. The price is followed by $, and the $sign will be considered like a string. So what we are going to replace that $sign, so that when we are doing the calculation, the machine won't consider the number like a string. So is what we are going to do. We are going to use the price float, and we'll be selecting the price element dot inner HTML dot replace. This one is supposed to be dot HTML dot replace, and we are replacing what? The $sign by the empty. Okay, so now we will be using the variable quantity equal to quantity element dot value, and right after we'll be doing total equal to total plus price times quantity. So that is it, and we'll be putting our total. So the total equal to we will be giving a match random, because we want the total to be not a long number. Sometimes you'll be having a multiplication where you'll be getting after the dot 999333444. So we don't want it like that. So is why we are going to use a math dot round to round our number. So we'll be using total by 100 divided by 100. So it will give us a round number. It won't be a floating number, which will be let's say after the dots many numbers at the back, like you can get 20, 40, but with this method it will just help us to round it to 2 or 3. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to use the document dot get element by class, and we'll be putting our cat total price, inner this equal to the $sign, because it has been removed. So now we are going to put it back plus the total. So that is it. So now we are going to put our total function in our various functions we are having. So the first function that we are going to apply the total for is with our click. Our click, that is it. We just put here, we put our update, that is it, because anytime we are adding an element, the total amount has to be updated. So the next one we are going is the quantity change tool, because when the quantity change tool, the total has to be updated. So we put it in, no. Update cart. So the same tool also will be applied to the remove. Okay, to the remove, you have to be having an update cart. So that is it. So let's select a various number and say what. Let's see if, but we can see that our total amount is not working. So where is the problem? So let's check and see where our problem is. The total amount is not updating, so definitely there will be a problem somewhere. So let's check. Let's cross our code again and check if we have respect everything. Update. Okay, it's left something we have to do. So guys, we are counting some mistakes when we click on our, let's go to our, we can notice that when we click on our order, we'll be accounting some mistakes. First, the total doesn't change, and also when we inspect it, we see that we'll be getting some uncached type error, cannot set property of undefined setting index about the update cart, the line 120. So we go fast to our line 120, which is here. So we can see that nothing is wrong here. So we go to our index HTML. So from the index HTML, we notice that we haven't set very well our total cart total. We have written cart total. So we now make it well, so it will be cart total now. So now another mistakes we have done is that our variable cart item container document getting by class name is not supposed to be a cart price, but it's supposed to be a cart items, because we cannot go and take anything inside our cart prices. Our element is inside our cart items. So that is it. So I think that now our has to be working. Our shopping cart has to function well now. So let's check. So you can see now that our total is working perfectly, because now you have 21 plus 22 plus 10. So let's check if our if we increase the number. When you increase the number to, you see that the quantity to our total amount will change. So when we remove it, it will be update. When we remove it, it will update, and when we remove it will update. Okay guys, now the next thing we are going to do, we can see that when we click on any element inside our place order, our number at the top of the shopping bar doesn't change. that is supposed to change, because it has to change in based of the number of items which has been selected. So what we are going to do, we are going to work on it right now. The first thing we are going to do, we are going to declare a variable title, a title list. We'll be giving an empty array to it, and we will be doing what we'll be giving. We will declare a variable cat number to refer to our shopping bag. Shopping number equal cat number equal to document dot get element by ID. We'll be giving number to it. Sorry, number. So that is it. So maybe we can put here console dot log or cat number to see if so to see if we are doing what is correct. So let's see now. Having our cat, let's see. Okay, we are having our cat number is at the top here, is 0. That is it. So it has been well declared. So the next thing we are going to do now, we are going to push the title, any title which has been selected from our section, our other section, to that array. So what we are going to do, we are going to set an if statement by saying if we use the title list. If our title list doesn't include a title, then push the title inside the title list. So we'll be using dot push function inside the title. So that is it. So now let's see if, and okay, it's not finished. So and display the number and display that number inside our cart, our shopping bag number. So the 0 at the shopping bag number will change to the number of items inside the number of title, because you are selected a number or item title inside our shopping cart. So no push, let's say inner title is not left. So now see if what we have done is working. So we just press 1. So you can see that is there. The number has changed to 1. So that is it. So you can see now clearly that the number now is 1. So if I select another one, or I click on 2, you see that we have 2 elements there. It's supposed to be 3. So if we select 1, 2, 3, let's see, these 3 elements are there. So you can see that the 3 elements are there. So let's say we are adding another one, which is 4. So let's see. So all our 4 elements inside our so is working perfectly now. So what we are going to do now, we are going now to say that if there is already an title inside our shopping cart, we shouldn't, the machine shouldn't allow the user to put another one. So to do that, we use again the if condition. So the if condition, before the if condition, we use it the loop. The loop will check inside our cart, our shopping cart, to see if there's any title, if there's if the title which has been selected is already we already have it inside our cart. If you already having our cart, it will display a message to us telling that it's already inside our cart. So if it's not the case, it will send it to. So it's what we are going to do now. But before to do that, we are going to use a for loop. But before to do that, we go back to our index.html, and you'll be seeing that inside our other section, the post, there is some product title has that a symbol here. So I will kindly remove it. If not, our program the code won't pass, won't work. So we are going to remove all the a at the title. So that is where we have another one here. If not, the comparison won't be the machine won't be able to compare it very well. It will see the one with the symbol a different than the one without the symbol a, and it will be a problem. So we will be removing all of them. So we just put in a slash there. So that is it. So let's go back now to our for loop. So inside our for loop, what are we going to do? We're going to put a variable e equal to 0. And we bring e inferior to the cart item name dot length, and we'll be having a plus plus, and we'll be that is sweet. So now we'll be doing what inside our for loop we'll be just putting an if condition, and the if condition will be holding the cart names, which is holding all the cart name, the cart title inside our shopping cart, and we want the inner text of it, and compare it to the title we are having inside our we are having we compare the title with the one who has been selected, and if to the one which we already have inside the cart. If it's match, if the title which has been selected is the same thing as the one inside the shopping cart, we will be putting an alert message to say is inside the cart, and we return the function. So that is it. So let's see now if we click and we click again. That's it. You can see that it say is inside the cart because we have clicked on it already. So when we go, it's only one. Even though we have clicked it 2 times, it's only one who will appear, and you see only one. So that is it. So let's try with another one again. If you click on the jollof and we click on it again, it will tell you it's inside the cart, and we click on the fufu and we click on it will tell you it's inside the cart. So guys, that is it. So we have finished designing our cart, our shopping cart. So now we will be going to our footer section. So that is it.